You have to love the irony of something like this. We've given women the rights to do everything a man can do. We've allowed them to get the education. They're paid equally under the law. They've been given all these freedoms and rights to do anything they want to, and they went right back to being whores. The difference is, though, this is the digital world where a very old and unattractive looking woman can get plenty of curious people to drop $5 a month to see what they look like. So much so that Shannon Elizabeth, who I did a story on a month or two ago about her joining up, in the first week, she made $1 million. This is the retirement parachute, the golden plan for all these aged out Hollywood actresses that aren't really hired to do much anymore. And many people have said, well, it's because Hollywood doesn't hire older actresses. But Sigourney Weaver keeps getting jobs, and she's in her 70s. There's plenty of British actresses that I've seen that are well into their 60s, 70s. Betty White had roles until she was in her 90s. So why is it those women could get roles, but these women can't? Could it be perhaps because the other women didn't rely on their looks and they were actually good actors? These women, however, had nothing much to offer that was special. And so when they were cast out of their roles, like many of them are, after they've gotten past their beauty years because their acting isn't good enough, they need to keep making the money. They got addicted to the lifestyle, and they want to keep powering forward. And so now they're joining OnlyFools, the graveyard, the retirement plan for washed-out actresses. There's many to speak of here. This is Tricia Helfer, I think her name is pronounced, or Helfer, I should say, Tricia Helfer. And I remember her in Battlestar Galactica. She was a very beautiful woman in Battlestar Galactica. And now she's just worn out and old, and they're all joining OnlyFools. Denise Richards was one of the first actresses to join. You can see here she was once on some red carpet gala, and she ran out of money, and then she jumped on and joined OnlyFools. But what I find interesting is when you do the search for her now, what do you find? You find leaks. Basically leaks, and they're on all these spicy websites. You don't see the stunning and brave articles written about these women anymore like you do here. This is the one about Shannon Elizabeth, and she hints at what other people can expect from her OnlyFools account after nearly a $1 million payday. And she said, and this is important, she said it's about claiming my freedom and claiming the power to do as I wish, the way, but still be able to connect to fans. Do you know how you can do that? Have a YouTube channel, Instagram, where you talk back and forth with people, maybe Facebook. This is me reclaiming my right. And that's what every single one of them says. Well, it's gotten so bad now that even Newsweek is saying, hey, this OnlyFools stuff is kind of becoming Hollywood's retirement plan, just for the women, of course, because the men don't need to do this because most of the men that make it are actually decent actors. Well, Shannon Elizabeth makes her big payday, and Jamie Presley at 48 years old says, hey, she just cashed out $1 million in the first week. I think I'd like to do this too. They say her debut comes weeks after her friend and Scary Movie co-star Shannon Elizabeth launched her own OnlyFools. Now, I actually like Jamie Presley as an actress. I think she's been plenty of good work. Now, granted, she's not really in much anymore, but it's because her looks are fading. But you have to find an agent that will help you find, you're the 50-year-old mom or you're the 60-year-old wife of some other, you have to find the right roles. These women don't want to accept their age. They want to get a bunch of plastic surgery done. And then when they can't find the roles that they want in their 30s or 40s, I guess they're just bailing out and joining OnlyFools. Now, but here's the point that's important, because we always talk about accountability, and these women are doing this, and all it is going to do is incentivize the young women out there today that this is a legitimate source of business, and this is a good way to make money. Now, of course, most women put all their stuff out on the internet, and they make a total of $200, and then they cry because they can't find a job or a boyfriend, and they want it all removed from the internet, but the internet is forever, and of course, we all know that. But this is the point that really gets to me. This is literally the second line. She launched her OnlyFools on May 7th, so just 2 weeks ago. The actress said the platform offered another way to connect directly with my audience on my own terms. They make it sound like Hollywood somehow held them back, that Hollywood punished them for aging, that Hollywood cast them out once they were gone past their good years. Well, here's a little bit of a surprise for you, but you weren't really that important to begin with. I mean, I've been to Hollywood before, and if you're in many of the popular areas and you go into diners or bistro where you have a waitress come and serve you, all of those people are usually taking these small bit jobs that they don't really want to do until they quote unquote hit it big in Hollywood. And the truth of it is 99.9% of them don't. But you could find somebody like that. So Hollywood was kind enough to actually put these women in the public eye. Many of them made millions and millions of dollars. And instead of doing something smart with the money, instead of planning for their future, they live this glamorous lifestyle. And then when Hollywood says, I have no more use for you, now they want to claim it's reaching out on my own terms. I'm sure this has nothing to do with the millions of dollars some of these women have made on this stupid platform. Before we get into the main story, let's talk about today's sponsor, Black Forest Supplements. Have you ever wondered why nobody on the news or on many places of the web have told you what dark chocolate actually does in your body? You have to find it from influencers or vloggers online, just like I did with this guy.
You can see there's no vasodilation going on, no veins, no blood pumping. You're going to take a scoop of my high flavanol cocoa right here. This is the stuff that promotes the nitric oxide in our bodies. Nitric oxide, you guys, is what opens up our blood vessels to allow more blood flow, blood pump. You'll see the vascularity and the veins popping, you guys, just like within 30, 45 minutes.
Here you got a guy that hasn't gone to the gym yet. He says, hey, here's me shirtless. I'm going to get ready to take my cocoa flavanols. Watch what happens.
I haven't even started working out, but 30, 45 minutes after I took the high flavanol cocoa, already the vasodilation, the veins are popping up. Even down, you can see it in my legs, you guys. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's almost nothing more healing than more healthy blood flow and blood pump throughout your body.
So before he even hit the gym, by the time he took his cocoa flavanols and made it to the gym, he was already vasodilated and he looked like he'd been working out for 30 minutes. That's some pretty awesome blood flow right there, if you ask me. Now, I've actually been taking this stuff as well. I've got where's my camera? My flavanols right here. I've been taking them as well. I mix them with hot coffee and a little bit of heavy cream or milk because the fat helps mix it up a little bit. I've been taking mine for a couple of months, and I'll tell you, I do feel better, and my ability to lose weight has been, I'd say, much easier than it's been for me in the past. And this has actually been backed up by Harvard doctors as well. Here's William Lee talking about the product as well.
Then researchers have given them 2 cups to have a day for 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, you take out your blood and measure the stem cells again, and then do that flow-mediated dilation resiliency test again of the blood vessels to see, have they changed? This is what's amazing has been found, that dark chocolate, the proanthocyanidins, not only got into the bloodstream, but they doubled the number of stem cells circulating in your blood vessels, and they doubled the resiliency, improved by twofold, the resiliency of your blood vessels just over the course of a month with as little as 2 cups of hot chocolate that's dark.
So there you've got a well-respected Harvard doctor saying this stuff directly about what those cocoa flavanols do in your blood, in your stem cells, the whole works. Now, remember, the news and other propaganda out there is the same crowd that tells you that seed oils were healthy and red meat would kill us. And they're quietly sitting on this. Bookmark it before they pull it. The brand is Black Forest Supplements. They're the ones actually making the cocoa with the flavanols still in it because most chocolate destroys it in the processing. They're doing a Memorial Day special 50% off store-wide promo for the next 48 hours, the whole site. Cocoa is the one they always run low on, so don't wait until it's too late. Link is in the description, code auto-applied, blackforestsupplements.com/bachelor. Links are down below. Okay, so Jamie Lee Presley's jumping on this whole grift like everybody else saying, oh, I'm just getting my power back. I'm doing things on my own term. This has nothing to do about the millions of dollars I can make from these losers out there that are simps and continue to pay for this kind of content. Nothing to do with that. It's about reclaiming my power. Women and accountability like oil and water. They say times are changing and Jamie Presley is changing with them. The actress best known for My Name is Earl, great show, by the way, and Not Another Teen Movie, launched in Only Fools on May 7th. They say Presley opened up to Variety about her decision to join the subscription-based content platform. I've always believed in evolving with the times, she shared. Okay, that's fair enough. If you say, I want to evolve with the time, this is where old ladies are going to share themselves out and do very inappropriate things. And look, I'll tell you this right now. This Denise Richards here, she's being full on. Like they're giving you everything out there. The problem is, I don't know if she's 50 or 60 or what. She doesn't look good, which is why I so heavily redacted this photo, because if you saw it, you'd be throwing up in your mouth, and not just a little bit. She says, I love meeting fans at various Comic-Cons, and the excitement of having those real face-to-face moments made me want to seek options like OnlyFools. Now, if this is what she looks like today, she's still a beautiful woman at 48. I guess good for her for at least not waiting until, the hands from the grave is grasping her around the ankles to drag her in before she decides to cash out. But I'm telling you right now, this is the kind of acceptance that when we as a society say, you know what, this has become mainstream. It just is what it is. It's the culture. You can't do anything about it. And if you're the one complaining about it, you're the outsider. This is normalization of this stuff, and it is a real problem. I don't want this to be normalized. I don't want women to be like this, and for the next generation of women coming up to be this way. It is what it is. And the only thing that I can hope for is enough men grow the testicular fortitude to stop putting up with this and start shaming women. If you go out on a date with a woman and you find out she does this, walk away. What is the point? I mean, if a woman can comfortably show herself to millions of people online in the undressed state for a paycheck, a professional is a professional, no matter how you put it, no matter what sugarcoating you want to do. If she'll do that for money, what would she do in person, to make a couple of $1,000 from maybe a guy that reached out to her on a dating app? Like, men are the ones that have to set the standards in this case because women just don't have any, nor do they care anymore. And I know a lot of guys say, yeah, but I just want a girlfriend, or I want to date, or I want to have somebody to sleep with. You can't accept that anymore. We've talked in the past, I've mentioned it, I know you've certainly thought of this, that the good times make weak men, and weak men make bad times, and bad times have to make strong men. We're in bad times right now. If you're going to be someone that survives this and thrives through this, and ends up on the other side as a happy, well-regulated individual, you're going to have to be the strong person. You're going to have to be the strong guy. You're going to have to say the one to say, no, I'm not going to purchase this. No, I'm not going to watch this. No, I'm not going to entertain this. No, I'm not going to talk to women that do this. I'm not going to talk to the bar girls. I'm not going to talk to the easy girls, the ones that give me attitude. I'm just better off alone. Until we get through that in society, this is just going to continue on. She gives the same excuse to everybody else. Oh, my friend joined, Shannon Elizabeth joined this, made $1.2 million in her first 7 days. And she's like, oh, I've spent my entire career working in Hollywood where other people controlled the narrative and the outcome of my career. Yeah, it's called a job. I have a job. Guess who controls the outcome of my career? My manager, my boss. Who controls their jobs? Their bosses. Who controls their job? The CEO. And who controls the CEO? The stock, the public, the board. There's always somebody above you. And in this case, yes, it's very nice to work for yourself. But in the same token, when you have to sell yourself out like this, and I'm sure she's going to make lots of money, and there's nothing we can do for it. Same thing with this Trisha Helfer. She says, at my age, I'm in my I do what I want phase of life at 52 years old. I'm tired of being told what to do and how to do it. That's the answer of a 4-year-old. That's the answer of a child. I want to do what I want, when I want, and you can't tell me what to do. Well, I mean, even Newsweek understands these women aren't growing up, but they have a problem because Newsweek is following along. Newsweek is saying Hollywood's OnlyFools is becoming Hollywood's retirement plan, but they say, oh, these women are doing it to find their own strength to get through life. Yeah, well, what happens on the back end? Because we know that's a lie. Women are not doing this to find their peace of mind and to control their own destiny. You can control your own destiny. Create a YouTube channel. Write a book. Start your own business. Do something. But they take the easy route out. And this is the easy route that they have. And I'm not going to read this story, but again, it's becoming popular. This is from Wired Magazine, again, just a week ago. OnlyFools first-gen content creators are retiring, and they're begging you to forget they exist. Because number one, they can't get jobs. Number two, they can't get friends. Number three, they can't get relationships. And number four, most of them didn't make that much money. And even if they did make a ton of money, most of them don't save it and invest it and do very well. And on the backside, they end up with nothing. And they're aging out, and they look horrible. And I'm sorry, look, even the photo here on the right, Yes, she is becoming an elderly woman at 52. She's had a lot of face work done. She's had some implants done to try to keep herself young and relevant. I'm sure there's some 65 or 70-year-old successful guy out there that would say, you know something, I would make her a wife if she was cool to hang out with. Same thing with Shannon Elizabeth. You know, Shannon Elizabeth, she doesn't look horrible for her age. She's got some veneers in her. For some reason, it looks like she's wearing dentures because her teeth are so whitened. But she had a guy. She had a man that loved her. She had a man that she was gonna do this animal reserve with and all these other things. And she basically left him so she could do this kind of content. I think we're getting to the world where just women really don't have anything to offer men anymore, except maybe if you're good looking, you can sleep with them and spend some time with them. But other than that, they've become so selfish and so uncaring of the world around them that they'll take whatever the best offer is at the moment. And then the minute something else comes along, they'll take it. You know, in their 20s, they're trying to sleep with all the good guys. And I mean, let me correct that. Not the good guys, but the good looking guys, the successful guys. All these women are sharing the same men and they're sleeping with these men. They call men pigs, but in the same token, they won't date the nice guys. They like the bad boys. And then, well, they're tired of that. So what's the next great opportunity available to them? What's the best next thing they can grab onto? Well, it's going to be a relatively okay looking guy that's successful and can give them a family and who's willing to buy them a house and, raise the kids and give them the family they want. And they say, you know what? Maybe that's the best thing for me. I'll take that. What happens after they have the kids? Well, now they're looking around and they found a couple of hot guys that still like them in the 30s and find them easy to turn out. And the women say, well, I'm bored now. That sounds exciting. I guess I'll just leave my family and behind, maybe take the kids, maybe get a payout from this, maybe get half of his valuables. And then I'm going to be with the hot guys again. And then what happens when that wears out? Well, then they try to find the next guy that's going to be their next victim of whatever they're doing. Or they turn to this if they're popular enough. There's no point anymore where it seems like a woman is actually dedicated and on your side, on a guy's side anymore. They're just opportunists from birth to grave anymore. And as men need to realize this sooner rather than later, because at some point you're going to get caught in the shuffle. Now, yes, if you find her in her easy phase in her 20s or after maybe her marriage and a kid or two in her 30s, you can have a lot of fun with these women. And maybe you say, you know something, I'm going to hit the gym. I'm going to look good. I'm going to get a couple of outfits that I look very successful. I'm going to even just pretend to be this playboy type of guy. And I'll go out there and enjoy the women. Enjoy what? Sleeping with them for a while, I guess. But make sure you plan on plenty of visits to the doctor to get medications to clear up everything that goes wrong with you. There's no one in history. I can't think of any time in history we've seen a fall. Maybe the collapse of the Roman Empire when they got twisted and they had all these weird things that they were doing and they didn't pay attention to family and culture and they just got, I don't know, they got all messed up. Maybe that's what we're going through now, but I think it's worse. I genuinely think it's worse today. There's just nothing left. I really do think there's a point where guys just say, you know something, I'm gonna do this for myself. There's nothing else out there. There's no other reason. I'm out. There's no value left. Guys, if you like my work, make sure to join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com, or for those of you on YouTube, at least get over to Rumble. The channel is Odd Man Out. Because I also do news stories over there. Anyway, come on over, join us. Great community of like-minded guys. You can sign up for free. Doesn't cost you anything. You can check out the forums, check out the topics we're talking about, and you can see the live streams that I've done in the past. And then if you say, hey, you know something, I kind of like this, I dig this, I want to be a part of this community where I can post and share things and join some of the live streams that I do for supporters only, it's $5 a month, which is literally less than a crappy cup of coffee from Starbucks. So come on over, join us today. I think you'll appreciate it. Enjoy the members only live streams that I do. It's a good time. It's a good community. So come on over, check it out, and you won't regret it.